What's this?
My face.
Growing white beards. That's a trendy look.
Bado?
Yeah,
Eating the mimi that.
Going on in 4.
Hello, my name is Pastor David Ewagata, and this is Ewagata Unchained. Today we'll be talking about running through the seasons and transitions of marriage. Who said marriage has to be easy? Who said marriage doesn't have to be easy? Yeah, those are two statements. Depends on what you make it. So this is me, with my wife, me and her,
Hey.
both of each other, one of another, coming to you right here from the White House Studios, where we keep it real. Okay. So, hi.
Hi.
Social distance kidogo. We are keeping to the Ministry of Health rules and regulations. So, being married to this Kwan David Ewagata, how has it been? It's just the other day we met, and then one thing led to another, and here we are a couple of years later. So what was the big thing for you?
Big thing.
Why did you like this guy?
I don't know.
It's complicated.
It's been a while.
You forgot why.
I forgot why. It's all blurry now. It's like, why? Yeah. At that point where you ask yourself, why? Why is it again? Yeah. Yeah, this is 20 years down the line of marriage and 5 years of dating or forever.
Yes, 20 and 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So we've been through the different stages of a relationship to marriage to marriage, the different phases of marriage from being just two of us to a full house.
We have the community.
Different responsibilities and roles into it. Wearing, as they say, different hats.
May I have the same hat? I just keep turning it around. Yeah.
Yes, you do. Yeah, so it's been interesting. It's been an adventure. It's had its ups. It's had its downs. But I think it's just been a very interesting life. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it for any other.
Yeah, there's no other. There's no other. Let's keep it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Power.
Yeah, I think for me it's been an amazing journey. I think when I look back, I don't even know how we ended up here. She was the prim and prime lady from Hallelujah, and me, I was just that guy back there who keeps making noise. But Jesus has his way of bringing it together. When we started dating, I think it started with the highest, loftiest, and she said yes, Jehovah God, hallelujah. And the sparks were flying, and I think we went through the 4 stages of dating that normally are the 4 stages of marriage, because we went out for 4 years. So we had gone through the honeymoon stage, okay, without the honey,
Yeah, we keep on saying that when we started this journey, we were young and broke. I was young, he was broke. Yeah.
We kind of maintained our lanes even up to now. Yeah.
So hence the 4 years of dating. I think people are wondering, 4 years of dating is like a long time. How old are you really? Were you over 18? Yes, we were over 18.
Yeah, we actually got married. We were among the youngest couples in our church to get married. The other guys were waiting until they begin to see retirement at the peripheries, and you're like, let me take a retirement plan. As we jumped in there, young and foolish, no, young and faithful, young and full of faith. Yes, young and full of faith. Yeah, we jumped in there.
Yeah, there was foolishness too. I mean, what did we know? We didn't know exactly what we were getting into.
All I need is Jesus. All I need is Jesus.
I
married.
don't think anything would have prepared us for this life that we have had, but it's been a blast. Just going through the dating season was exciting. It was the whole Roho Kudunda, missing beats.
Still missing beats, you know.
Yeah.
I think I have a heart problem.
Now when you miss beats, we go to the hospital.
If you're still missing beats after 20 years of marriage, dude, just see a doctor. It's not love. It's na kitu inafanya huko kwa roho, and it might take you home.
Of course, we were young and restless. We wanted to experience life with a big spoon. And
but we couldn't afford spoons, you know, so just plan mkono your life.
Yeah.
So, okay, now let's get serious. Many people wonder what has made it work for 20 years. And other people have thrown in the towel after 2 years, 5 years. Others came from the honeymoon and said, ile umenifanyia hapa, imeishia hapa, you know, so they just left after that. I think the shortest marriage I've known is 2 weeks, you know, by one celebrity. You know, me, I don't know. Me, I thought if you're handsome and she's beautiful, it works. But clearly, it's not about the looks. So what in your opinion makes the marriage work?
Jesus. I think that's been an integral core part of our journey together. Just the fact that we are both actively working on our salvation with fear and trembling, and that spills over and informs how we do marriage. Like any other young person out there who is in love and who has expectations and dreams of what marriage looks like, that's where we were. You know, and a lot of those expectations have been met, and a lot of them have not been met because of where we were as young people, just having sometimes unrealistic expectations. So we've had to shed off a bit of that along the way.
One of the golden rules.
But Jesus has played a huge role. Just our personal journeys and personal relationship with God has shaped who we are as husband, as wife, as mother, as in-law, as, you know, the different hats we've had to wear along the way as we walk. So without Jesus, I don't think we would have been here.
Yes, and I know many people are saying, you know, but I know Christians who are born again, worship leader, prayer warrior, and 2 minutes later, separation, divorce, makelele online and all. So I think we need to just qualify when we say Jesus, because I think it's not just about knowing Jesus, it's about living out what we believe in. It's about the values and virtues that Christ, with our permission, builds in us, because I think sometimes we can be very difficult even with the Lord. And so the virtues and the values that we have established as a result of our relationship with Christ, that is very key. That's very important. And so for me, that's the thing. It's not just about being born again, it's about being in a living, active relationship with Christ, but more than that, walking in obedience to the values of the Word of God. The moment I bring umangai in my relationship with God or with Christ, it translates into umanga with my relationship with my spouse.
Even if when I find myself neglecting my relationship with God, it reflects, it mirrors my relationship with my husband, with my children. So I find that there's such a direct correlation between my relationship with God, who I am as a person, as a wife, as a mom, as a friend, as a sister. So for me, it's like, this is my lifeline. If I neglect that, then I become that. If I work on this, then I become better. So if I'm actively pursuing my relationship with God, I am walking in submission, I am staying in the Word, staying connected to God in prayer, and staying actively putting God at the center of my life, my heart, my emotions, my thinking, then it spills over to who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I would put it in a diagram. I think in diagrams, so it makes my life easy. When you just have pictures all over the place rather than notes. And so it's like a triangle. The closest point to your the two sides coming together is at the apex there, right? So this is a triangle like this. So assuming there's another line down here. Now there's a triangle. So this is her, this is me on this side. The closer we get to God, as we rise on this rank, and as she rises on this rank, the closer we get to each other. And so that is how our relationship has worked. So I can be here on this, she can be here on this end, I can be here on this end, and we can have our differences and struggles, but as we grow closer to Christ, we also grow closer to one another. This is very significant because a lot of the things that if she has drama with me and I'm on this side, as I grow closer to Christ, I begin to understand that this drama is crucified with Christ. And as she grows closer, she also understands that, he's made of flesh, he's a human being and needs grace. And so we are gracious to one another, but we also grow out of those things. One of our golden rules, I'm just going to mention the golden rules, one of our good friends said, if you want to do well in marriage, lower your expectations. If you want to have if you want to be contented in marriage, lower your expectations. Not in a negative way, but basically in a way of saying we come in with so many unrealistic expectations. I thought, once we get married, it's gonna be sex every morning, noon and night. Some people think I was thinking, I just wake up in the morning and there's breakfast in bed. I come in the evening and it's a hug and just a shoes picked from your feet. As seen on TV. Okay, traditional TV, not Hollywood. Even it's Ugandan TV where you Sebo, you have arrived home more, and so and there are many things that you think you don't expect of a spouse until the day you get married, and so some of those expectations begin to be shot down. Some of them just, walk out.
They get aligned, I guess. For me, it's not.
They just get cut to pieces.
There are those that are removed. There are those that you have to shed off.
Yeah, it's called aligned.
There are those that are aligned, like they don't belong here. Some expectations I might be having of a husband that are not of a husband. They are of God. So I've had to shift some expectations, like place them in the right place. Don't expect your husband to read minds. Don't expect your husband to be Superman.
Like me, don't wake me up at night and there's a bang outside. The reason why we bought a house that has doors is so that we can avoid the going outside, that we go and open the door and So there are some expectations that are misplaced, really, that we, as we walk along that journey. I'm a knight in shining armor, but I work during the day.
You're not a knight in shining armor. Maybe, I don't know. So there are some expectations that are actually good expectations but placed in the wrong place. And so you as you walk along, as you realize, I think you might not be able to deliver what I'm expecting, but then who, because this is a need, this is an unmet need, then who meets that need?
And sometimes we get to grow into it, I may not have been able to afford to marry you when we met, but you see, after long suffering, waiting for long, finally we were able to scrounge up enough to get married. If you had left like in the third year, just imagine, where would you be now? Okay. Anyway, where would I be? More importantly, because I watched a guy who said, a comedian who was saying there are so many things that a man does not know, that when he gets married, his wife keeps him releasing this information in small bits and pieces. Like some of the foods that we eat as men. If our wives didn't tell us don't eat that thing would have killed us, but we didn't know. So it's good to get married because you have a longer life. Actually, science says that men live longer when they are married than when they are single. But hey, we are grateful. I think the other thing that I would say is has really helped us is having been friendship, not just friendship in terms of just close quarters, but also friends in terms of having common interests and having a common vision. And so those three things, friendship in terms of our connection, we have vibe, she laughs at my jokes, 20 some years later, she's like, but then there's also having the same interests. In fact, on top of that, having the same friends, not just the same circle of friends. We actually grew our circle of friends into one big circle of friends. And then having the same vision and mission. And those, I don't think we sat down and said strategically, I want a woman who loves God, who is in ministry, who is da-da-da. Yes, born again is one thing. But who has a heart for what I have a heart for? Only God can do. And so I think for me that was a critical thing. So it has helped us maintain, even when there's drama, this is my friend. When we have an issue to resolve, we have the same circle of friends. I'm not leaving to go to my boys to get support for what I want to do. And her, she's going to her girlfriends who I don't like. And some of us are like that. You have this gang of friends that your wife is like, okay, if I could just find somebody to take them out one by one, or if you could move to Russia so that none of them can come and then they are broke, so that they never can even text and WhatsApp, because they just don't like the circle that you operate in. And then having that sense of, we have common interests. She taught me my first pieces in music, and from there life went on, and now I was playing as she sings. And then finally the vision, a common vision. I think those have helped us keep going. I don't know, maybe it's me, it's just
I
in
think
my head.
that's very true. Friendship does make a huge difference. If you're friends before getting into the space of marriage, it makes the journey much more easier, because you already have established a team, teamwork.
Team vibe.
You are easy around each other.
Team thing.
You're comfortable around each other.
Team down.
Okay. So it makes the journey much easier.
Yeah.
I know that when I have a challenge, or when I am down, or when the first person I would not hesitate to tell is you, because of that friendship that we share. And it has made even the tense moments of our relationship much easier. Because I'm not just looking at you like, hey, you are the boss, you're the husband, you're the man of the house. I'm looking at you like, you're my friend. And so we can be able to tackle whatever comes. So the tension when we've had differing opinions about issues, it's not been a place of enmity, it's you versus me. It's been a place of, let's have conversation about this, what's going on. And we are able to approach it with ease, with calmness, it doesn't have to have drama, because we are friends first of all. And the reason why friendship is best, because you give your friend a lot of grace. If you think about it, if a person is your friend, you always give them an extra mile. You're always gracious to them. You're always willing to understand who they are and where they're coming from. They might be a bit weird, but you're like, that's who they are. They're different from you, but you're okay with it. In fact, it makes it makes the relationship more interesting. And so friendship has been such a blessing for us. Yeah, there are some issues that we look at and we're like, if we were not friends, this would have gone south. But because we are friends, we've sailed through it so well.
I don't know what else to say. I'm happy. Well, in conclusion, there are many ideals we come with into marriage. There are many assumptions we come with into marriage. There's a lot of baggage we carry into marriage. I think one of the things that has really helped us is to be able to deal with all those in a very we build a foundation of how to handle those issues and bring them to the fore without necessarily tearing us apart. But I think the final thing that I would say, and this is a big thing for many of us, it's the aspect of faithfulness. I think by God's grace, being able to get married pure, being able to live those 20 years without entanglements, where by God's grace. And let me tell you, people think that when you get married, it's like the Lord, I wish it was so, the Lord just cover your eyes and you just, when you see a sister, you just see a banana tree, gazelle, the doors of the fields. You don't see beauty, when you see a guy, you don't see handsome. Hey, I think by God's grace, and then we work with young people. So you're meeting with all these young girls or young boys at their prime, and you're just like, oh Jehovah. But because we were able to be faithful when we were dating, I think it gave us the muscle to be able to say, if I didn't do this when I was single or dating, then there is no way I'm going to bring this in, because if it's not in the foundation, it will not be in the roof. And many of us want to live a life where you want to do your drama, do your thing, fling out there, date this one, carbon that one, drop that one, pick the other, and then you want to reach the end and say, oh, now I want to be faithful. Shock on you. The foundation is very differently built. And so I think, yes, there is faithfulness, there is forgiveness, there is friendship, there is forgiveness, there is understanding each other, there is building capacity, but I think we've not given each other heart attacks. There's something I want to tell you, and then you're like, okay, Jesus, take the wheel, because right now I am not even boarding, So I think just the aspect of faithfulness, and I know this is a big thing in our generation where mistakes are celebrated. It's manly to have a go at one or another girl. And it's not that it's not a temptation or a present challenge, but just being able to say, no, if I didn't do this, then it shouldn't happen now. And being able to stand on that. Of course, with a lot of God's grace, I think if there's a place that God has covered us, it's in just keeping us off drama before and up to now.
Yeah, I think for me, just being able to understand, I think self-awareness is so important. Being able to recognize where you are at in your marriage. Constantly auditing yourselves as a couple. And being able to say, how are we doing? Do you think we're doing okay? How are we emotionally? How are we financially? How are we spiritually doing? How are we doing in our relationship? Would we say we are trusting? Do we say that we are open? Do we say we are honest? Are we being faithful? Being able to continually audit your marriage and being able to work on it, and it's work in progress, and allowing and being excited about growth, because marriage, we started off very young and very single in many ways, even in our mentality. Very single, very young.
Moving from the I to the we.
To interdependence, to different seasons and phases, and allowing ourselves to evolve into those different spaces and different phases as parents, new responsibilities, new things to juggle around, and as ministers of the gospel and serving in different spaces, it has allowed us an opportunity to be stretched, our marriage to be stretched, to be put to the test, and for us to be able to say, we're still sticking to it, we still believe in marriage, we still believe in faithfulness, we still believe in keeping our vows, and we are in this together, we are a team. I think those are some of the things that I carry in me as precious, as things that along the way just having you allowing me to grow, giving me the space to be what I want to be at that time. There are times when I wanted to be in the workspace. There are times when I want to be home and be a mom to my children. You've supported every space I've been in, and to you, and also for me to you, being able to say, you want to do ministry in Rwanda. Oh, fine, let's go for it. We want to do this, want to launch this, want to start this new thing. Just being able to be there to say, I'm here, I'm backing you, I'm here for you, let's do it. Just believing in each other and saying, I believe in what I see in you, and it's been great that way, I think.
I think one of the biggest things that I would say is, your ability to trust that I'm sane, especially in some of those moments. Yeah, because there are moments that as a man you make some decisions, and even you are thinking, when you go to sleep, you're like, what? That was just foolish. But I'm amazed she's supported. She actually was like, yeah. I mean, we've stepped out and we've had interesting transitions in our lives. And just being able to say, we are going this way. And there's no, it's like we're jumping over, we are doing bungee jumping, but we don't really there's a bit of a problem. We don't have a rope. Just a small technical problem. Yeah, we're jumping down the cliff, but they didn't bring a rope. So, but anyway, we are not going to change plans. We're still going to jump. And she's like, okay. And eventually she's like, yes, let's jump. And I think you've done those jumps with me a couple of times. Interesting enough, she sees those jumps before I see them as well, which is amazing, because I think because of also her relationship with God, she's able to discern where the next stop it will be. And so she's not caught off guard, and she's not battling heart, soul, mind, and strength. And because in her heart of hearts, she knows it's going to be a big step, but it's going to be a God step. And have we seen stars in some points? Yes, we have seen stars. Have we been well at some points? Yes, it has been well. But all along, what we've learned is God is not a stagnant God. God is always on the move. God is always at work. And so we've not stagnated, we've not stopped. We keep moving. We're still doing youth ministry 20-some years later, because we've always been bold enough, and you've always been bold enough to say, yes, David, I think you can do this. I think we are up to this task, and we've taken it. And so I think as we bring this to a close, being able to celebrate me as a man and as a husband and as a minister of the gospel, and say, you know what, you can do this. Sometimes I'm super broke and she's like, David, you're rich. And I'm like, let's go shopping. And we use everything. And we're like, oops, maybe we shouldn't have used everything. But hey, she said we are rich, so at your word, sister. And there's nothing as amazing to a man as a woman who cheers him up. And I think that has also not just built into the ministry that we do, it has also built into the man that I am, and it has also built into the things that we've been able to do a lot. Because I'm like, and has also safeguarded me, I think lastly, has also safeguarded me from the dramas of Ujamaa Hassan. He has just gone on a tangent, because I'm like, you know what, even if somebody else cheers me on out there, I know I have a cheerleader in the house. Even if somebody celebrates me, oh, but you're so cool. I'm like, yeah, she knows. She tells me that every day. And this doesn't end. It happens for us as young people. It happens for us as children. When a parent celebrates you, it happens even more for a spouse when your husband or your wife celebrates you. And so thank you for cheering me on. Bangi zile ningekuwa nimevuta kujichia on zingekuwa ni mingi, but I have drawn from that. And so God bless you guys. This has been David and Rose Ewagata in Ewagata Unchained. Have a nice one.
Bless you.